Hey guys, a lot of you have been asking about my camping setup for the tournament season, so wanted to give you guys a little brief overview of how I have it set up and what works for me, and maybe it'll work for you. Check it out. So guys, this is my 2008 Ford F-250. I put a camper shell on here and I added these Yakima crossbars, and there's also a 330 watt single solar panel up there. So I'll show you that in just a second. As you can see, you can't see through this glass because I put a blackout shade on the inside, which adds privacy and sun protection. Hey guys. There you have it. There's the blackout shades. All I did was take an old shade. I own a window treatment company, so we just took some old damaged shades. I took the fabric out, made a template, cut it, and used the screws that holds the window in place to just hold the shade up on each side. It works. Not the prettiest thing, but it works for sure. Eventually, when I get some blackout shades, I'll swap it to black. I just think it'll look better. Now here on the inside of my glass door on the camper, I've added an LED strip that runs all the way down the bottom and down the sides. What this does is it really helps me to rig up the kayak, or in this case, the boat. I'm not really rigging up the boat, but it adds light back here in this section when I'm rigging up for a kayak tournament, or if I'm sitting at camp. It works really well. This is a battery pack for a motorized shade. It's 12 volt. I just made my own little pigtail for it. Plugs in right here. And there you go. It's got a little button. You can change colors, but it doesn't run off the truck. It just runs off that battery pack, which lasts a really long time. And I just recharge it every so often. And also, when it's closed and I'm inside the camper, it really lights it up. I have to wait till dark and give you guys a shot of that. But that's that. When I purchased the camper, I also got this bed rug, which is highly worth it. It adds a little bit of warmth, but it just adds some padding for sleeping. Now what I'll do, I have a single full air mattress that I'll run on this side, and this is a Trekology table. It's a real lightweight table that I'll set up in this corner and put my phone and fan, whatever I need, just to have like a little end table. But I don't want anything permanently built in this bed. I don't want any wooden frames. I like to have my bed space for my work, and an inflatable mattress seems to do just fine. Always have this with me. It's a little battery operated lantern, and it's a Bluetooth speaker, and it conveniently clicks right into place on the glass door here. So there you have it. I also have one of those little Harbor Freight lights right there that you just turn the knob and lights things up. And I also have these little accent lights that go all the way around the perimeter of the roof, which adds a little ambiance. It looks really cool at night. I just tied them into the bolts that I have coming through on my camper shell that I made for these Yakima crossbars. This is a piece of unistrut that I cut and put carriage bolts through it and custom painted it to match the truck, and the Yakima bracket kind of hooks right underneath it. So it works out pretty good. It's pretty stable. I'm gonna modify it a little bit more, but that worked out pretty good, and it was something that I had on hand. And as you can see, it just clears the solar panel. Now, ideally, you don't want anything blocking your solar panel, but that panel is so big, I got it really cheap, that it keeps my battery charged all the time. Here's a look of the panel. So I don't remember the exact specs on the solar panel, but I can tell you it's a really good one. It's made for a home. It's a panel that's supposed to go on the roof of your home, but it fit perfectly on the roof of my camper, and it's just one panel that I have to deal with, and it's pretty low profile, and I think it works out good. So I have that solar panel connected right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I got a glare on my screen, but it comes down runs through the cab of my truck, and it plugs into my Bluetti solar battery pack. This is a 1500 watt hour, and I can tell you this, it pretty much stays topped off all the time. Right now it's about halfway because I was charging one of my KAYAK batteries, my Aegis 30 amp hour battery off of it. Plus I was charging the Minn Kota remote for the trolling motor on the boat. I charge electronics, phones, my lanterns, my LED battery pack for the camper glass. Everything is charged right here in my truck. And even if it's cloudy outside, I still typically bring in about 60 to 70 watts with that solar panel, with the crossbars blocking some of it. So there's never a need for more power. If I'm fishing a tournament and I'm boondocking, there's no power, I can take all of my batteries and charge them up off of this guy. And then if it's a sunny day and I'm fishing for 8 hours, when I get back, this thing will be completely topped off to charge my batteries again for the tournament. This is my biggest purchase and improvement on truck camping is literally having power. The bed works out perfect with the camper shell. You're covered, it's private, and you have power. I typically don't like paying for a park if I can help it. I like to camp and boondock. That's my thing. Got kind of looks like a mess in here, but just a pillow and sleeping bag. It's a 0 degree bag. I have my Milwaukee M12 charger in here for my job. I charge my job site batteries off of this too. I can run power tools off of this if need be. It's just very, very convenient. You have a 12 volt accessory plug. This can be taken out, obviously, and I can put it in the bed of the truck with me if I needed it back there. But another thing I always keep in my truck, and they're usually sitting on the dash, are these guys right here. They're just little motion lights. They're LED motion lights with a solar panel on them for recharging. They work excellent for camping. I stick them in my kayak or on the roof of my truck, on the side of my truck. I actually had glued magnets on the back of this. They popped off. I need to put them back on, but I could snap them to the side of my truck. You walk by your truck at the campsite, it lights up automatically, and yeah, they just work out really, really well. That's pretty much it, guys. I'll give you a view of what everything looks at nighttime. This is for only me when I'm boondocking by myself. We bought a pop-up camper. If you guys have been following along, we've been redoing that. So when the wife comes, we're in the camper, especially in the summertime when it's hot. Springtime, wintertime, fall, no problem. Summertime, can definitely get hot in here. But even so, I leave the tailgate down with this glass open. I have a bug net enclosure that goes over this. I run a fan. It's manageable. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a view of what it looks like at night, and that's gonna be about the end of this video. Okay guys, it is night, obviously. So I'm gonna show you the lights on the camper shell. Click the button, and you can see it lights up the whole bed of the truck just perfectly. And it lights up the ground probably a good 20 feet behind the truck. So plenty enough light back there to reach the back of my kayak when it's on the trailer. So that's what it looks like there. You can also change the colors to a more white light. And it does a color strobe. And then this aqua color. And then as far as those motion lights, I usually just hang them on my crossbars. So it's a motion light. They stay charged because they stay in my dash. They light up the ground really nice where I'm walking. I put those on both sides, maybe even put one in my kayak. One other thing that I forgot to mention earlier, guys, power was my main concern with boondocking because I'm boondocking typically when I'm fishing a kayak tournament. Another problem is refrigeration. Yes, you can bring a cooler, but when you're out there, a lot of times you can't buy ice or you're not close to a convenience store to purchase ice. I do have a 12-volt fridge that I run off that solar generator in the truck that I showed you earlier. No problems with battery consumption. It'll run that fridge for 3 days. I'll charge all my batteries. I have not yet ran out of juice. That's my setup, guys. Now let me show you the little lantern. So there you go. Old school lantern. I'll turn these off. Typically the stick isn't there, but I love my little camping setup, guys. Pretty cool. All right, if you guys have any questions, I'll do more videos in the future when I'm actually out camping and you can see my bed set up, table, all the little cool camping gadgets that I use. Other than that, this video is over, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of content, and we'll catch you on the next episode. God bless.